As we know, a website is nothing but a collection of interlinked web pages. So using hyperlink also, you can actually navigate from one page of a website to another. But if programmatically it is required, like after a particular operation you want to go to some other page, for example, as soon as you submitted your form, you want to go to another page which will give you confirmation like your data has been saved. So in any such scenarios, you can actually go for the page redirect in JavaScript, and here we have a method of Windows object called location. And inside this location method, you can actually pass a string parameter which will be a URL of a particular location where you want to go. So on a particular event like button click, as soon as this method will get called, your page will be redirected to that particular location. So let's see practically how this window.location works and what are their different parameters and overloadings available. So in this particular program, I am simply changing the location of one page to the another page. So in this particular page, what I am doing is I have simply placed a button with the text redirect me, and when you will click, this will call the redirect function. And inside this redirect function, what I have done is I have simply called this window.location property. It will simply change the location of your page, and whatever page you have specified will be shown to the user. So when I'll execute this, you can see I can also do that on a particular timeout basis. As you may have seen, like when you get a particular page, you will be shown some ads, and after that particular time, after some particular time, like maybe 5 seconds, 10 seconds, the actual site is there, means it will automatically redirect you to the actual website after that advertisement. So I can do that as well. So for that I don't need this button. I'll remove this text, or I'll write something like you will be redirected in 5 seconds. Alright, and what I'll do is I'll call this function on the load method, like on load. I'll not call it directly, I'll call the timeout function, which will actually do the trick. Basically this timeout function will call this redirect function, redirect. Alright, and let's put them in single quotations as I already have a double quotes. Alright, and now I'll do that after 5000 milliseconds. So this particular redirect function will be called on the load after 5000 milliseconds, because as soon as the body will get loaded, it will call this timeout function, and this timeout will give a callback to this redirect function after 5 seconds. So let's refresh the page. So this is the message which I have passed here. Alright, so it's not there. Let me check the code. Alright, actually there is some set timeout function is there rather than this timeout. There is a set timeout function which will do that particular task which I was just talking about. Now I'll call this set timeout, and let's refresh this page again. So maybe after 5 seconds I'll be redirected, and yes, as you can see, now I'm here in this website again. So this is how you can implement the page redirection while using the JavaScript.
In this video, we shall get acquainted with the basic syntax of PHP language.
Let us now write a simple hello world application in PHP and see how it can be run from the command line. PHP statements, or the block of one or more than one PHP statements, are put inside these two lines, less than question mark PHP. This marks the beginning of the PHP code, and greater than question mark greater than marks the end of the PHP code. So in between these two, I am just writing a single statement, echo hello world. Echo and print, these are the two PHP keywords which are almost used similarly to display the output on whatever the output device that is in use. Since we are going to use this or execute this code from the command line, our command prompt or the console terminal will be our output device, so on which you expect this hello world to be printed. So after writing this number of statements, just save this file as hello.php. So I have already saved this file as hello.php. Now you open the command prompt and go into the directory in which this file has been saved. So this is the folder in which this hello.php is present. So before executing this script from the command line, you have to ensure that the php.exe, the PHP executable, the folder in which this php.exe is provided or present must be in the path of your operating system. So if it is already there, then all you have to do is to execute this hello.php from the command line by saying php hello.php. So what happens? The statements inside this PHP script will be executed. Incidentally, there is only one statement, echo hello world. So I should get the hello world message being printed. So that's how you can execute a PHP script from the command line. Okay. So this demonstration will show you how to execute a hello world application as a web page. So for that purpose, I have written this HTML code. Remember that any HTML code or HTML script can be saved as a PHP file. But if you want to include a certain PHP code or PHP instructions inside the HTML, then you have to use this line as the mark of beginning of the PHP block of statements, less than question mark and PHP, and in order to denote that the PHP script is over, it should be marked by the question mark greater than, inside which you can write as many as number of PHP statements as you want. Here I am just using one echo hello world, and this hello world is surrounded by the heading tag, right? And this page or this HTML script in which a PHP part is included is saved as hello.php on the document's root of our PHP web server, PHP enabled web server. It may be XAMPP or it may be WAMP or it may be any web server that you may want to use. So write this script, save it in the folder which is marked or which is configured as the document root of your web server. Okay. Now after having done this, start your web server, call it as a local host, because the name of the web server on your machine will anyway be called as localhost. If you want or if it is needed, configure your port number. Default port number is 80, but if it is already occupied by any other web server, change it to whatever you want. Particularly 8080 is the alternative port number that is used. Okay, so perform this, save this file, start your web server, and now open the browser and visit this page. So the web server is running. I am just giving the URL as localhost hello.php. I should get the hello world message. Remember that the script also carried a title as PHP test that is appearing here, and hello world echo hello world statement had a h1 tag used. So hello world is being displayed in the heading format. So this is how a hello world application executed as a web page that can be done using the web server that we are going to use. Okay.
In this video, we shall see the web concepts as they are used in a PHP program.
So what is the difference between the client side process and the server side process? That I will try to explain with the help of this example. This is a simple HTML code. I have saved this as webconcepts.php on the document root of my web server. This line is a plain HTML which uses the bold and paragraph tags. Okay, so this is a static text. Now this is the JavaScript code. When this part is executed by the browser, it will call this document.write function and return the value of the date function. What this will give you? It will give you the current date as present in the client's computer. On the browser is running on the computer which is the client, and what is the date as per the client's computer, that will be displayed. And after the execution of this code, the browser will encounter this. This is the embedded PHP code. So as soon as it encounters this PHP part will be executed by the server on the server. So what it will display? It will echo server's date is and the return value of this date function. Now this date will be as per the server's computer, as per the date that is stored inside the server's computer. Okay, so incidentally in this case both the client script, that is the JavaScript code, and the PHP code are being executed by the same physical computer, but this is the browser which is the client and this is the local host which is the server. Okay, so you may not find the difference between the output of this date and this date, but suppose that this code is placed on a server and it is being accessed by a remote client. So therefore, and that remote client may be in a different time zone altogether. So in that case, this client date may show a different result and this server's date may show a different result. But in here now in our demonstration both will be the same because both are executed on the local host. Okay. So what is the output of this program, that we will see. So there you go, the server is running and I have given the URL as webconcepts.php, client side and server side script. This is the HTML text that is being displayed. This is the output of that JavaScript that I was talking about, and this is the output of the PHP code. Okay, so remember that this may be different if in the real server situation the code is hosted on a server and the client is somebody else which may be at different location, which may be having a different time zone. So this date reported and this date reported may be different in a real situation, but since we are using a local host, both are showing the same January 17, January 17. Okay, so that is the way in which client side script can be embedded inside HTML using JavaScript. Server side script is your PHP.
In this video, we shall see how the input output operations are executed in the console mode for a PHP program. So console IO.
So here we perform simple console input output operations using the fscanf and fprintf functions. This program can be run from the command prompt you giving the php.exe path. Okay, so fscanf is the function which accepts input from the stream. Here the stream is stdin, which is a standard input stream which is defined in PHP, and it is going to accept the data from the standard input device into the variable called as a, and because the data that is input is going to be stored in the form of integer, I am using the format specifier as %d. So if you are familiar with the scanf function in C, you will be able to understand this. So fscanf, stdin is the stream from which the input is read into the variable a. using the format specifier %d for integer. Same statement or same syntax is also used for reading the data into B. It is also reading the input from the stdin, that is the standard input stream, into B in the form of integer. This is the simple formula for calculation of area, which is length into breadth. And now you want to redirect the value of C towards the std out. So fprintf function displays the output or writes the data into this stream. This is the standard output stream. So area is equal to %d format specifier is used to display the value of C in integer form. So this is a very simple demonstration of console input output in PHP in console mode. So we'll go to the command prompt and execute this program PHP area.php from the command line. Okay. So this is the directory in which this area.php is stored, and the execution is simple: php area.php. Provided php.exe is in the path of our system, this area.php will be executed. First statement is fscanf, enter the length, I give some number, enter the breadth, I give some other number, area is equal to 200. So that is how a console input output operations can be done using the standard library functions fscanf and fprintf. Of course, fscanf and fprintf can have, here in this case the streams are predefined streams, we are using std in and std out. Instead of that, the streams could be any file stream, so that we will see in our next discussion. But for the time being, this is the console input output operation.
In this video, we'll have a look at the different arithmetic operators that are available in PHP language.
So let us verify the behavior of arithmetic operators with the help of this PHP script. This PHP script starts here. In the beginning, there are two variables, a is equal to 42 and b is equal to 20, and then we are performing the different arithmetic operators one by one $C is equal to $A plus $B. The values of a plus b will be added and the result will be stored in C. So you should get addition operation result is equal to 42. Similarly, here it will be 22. Here the multiplication will be 840. Here the division is expected to be 2.1. Whereas the mod or modulus operation 42 divided by 20, the integer division is 2. This will increment the value of a was 42, it will become 43, and then again if I immediately decrement it, it should be again 42. So that is the expected output of this program. If I save it on the document root of my XAMPP server, that is htdocs, the name of the script will be arithop.php. So open the browser after starting the server, of course, and give the address localhost 8080 arithop.php, and then see whether the same expected result is obtained. So this is the browser's page, the same address that has been given, arithop.php. Addition is 62, subtraction 22, multiplication 840, division 2.1, mod 2, increment and decrement. So that is how the result will be displayed. So this is the behavior of our arithmetic operators.